Oh, I just really messed up my introduction to this, so we're not going to do an introduction. I'm going to take this off of the list, this into space one. Hold on. Mm-mm. I'm going to remove that one. I don't like that one. Okay. So this one I like. We're just going to skip all of that. All right. Happy witching hour, guys. So we got some talking to do. And as I talk about this, I'm going to you'll hear things shuffling around because I am rearranging my altar spaces, and I'm doing a really big cleanup project. I've got a lot of stuff that I need to dispose of in the house, like bottles, and I got a lot of organizing to do. um and so I'm starting on that project, but I'm up in my room. So I am setting up my boon altar actually, and that's going to be in my room, okay? Because I feel like, how like when people have safes in their house, and they usually have them like they're like a safe. You know how rich folk will have a safe in their house, and they will literally have the safe like inside of the wall, like above their bed, behind a painting or something. And I feel the reason why I want to keep my boon altar in my bedroom is because I want to be able to watch my money. Okay. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about how organized religion um, is, how it keeps a lot of you guys wrapped up in generational curses. Now, I am seriously at a point where I am no longer going to be blaming religious organizations. I've gotten to that point because I think that when people know that something is wrong, when people feel it, when they know that they are using that to sort of, because I feel like this. I grew up in the Baptist church. I don't feel that there's necessarily anything wrong uh with it, but I think that when it is being used to stop a person from learning about the occult and the world of the mystic and all of that, and I think that when it starts to get used purposely to dumb people down, I think that that is the issue. Do I feel that organized religion necessarily had an agenda to do that? Yes. Do I think it's a very old and outdated agenda? Yes. But to blame, you know, early colonialism on it in this day and age, it's just, I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not. So we're going to talk about family or just people in general. And we're going to talk about like the actual process of what happens and what's happening when it comes to generational curses. Okay. And how, if you are a person that has, I don't want to say discovered, but if you are a person that is, well, I guess it is a discovery, because basically what you have done is you have tapped into these things that most people, if they understood it, it would make them feel weird. To us, when we finally realize it, when we finally realize the capability and what's actually happening in this world, and the etheric realm and the astral plane, when we realize that, it's because we are ready to accept this. And a lot of people are not. It makes them feel weird. It makes them feel Like something is not normal here. I don't like this. It's making me think too much. It's making me see too much, and I don't want to see it. I just want to feel normal. And so that's what we're going to talk about. Early in my practice, though, when I first started doing things like cleanses, when I first started doing things like curse reversals and things of that nature, spirit really just did everything for me. The same spirits that I'm working with these days. Lilith, Forneus, Andromalius. I've even added a few more that I'm not ready to discuss. Um, the Morrigan, which I love, love, love the Morrigan, Hecate, Lakshmi. They would just do everything for me. Then I noticed a few years ago they wanted me to get a deeper level of understanding of the spirit realm, and I think that that happens to everybody. And I think that when that does happen, most mystics get scared and they want to go back to being a baby, being incubated in like an egg in the womb. They don't want to, because they feel like, oh my God, I'm going to lose myself, because they don't really have the proper grounding to be able to say, okay, I have this awareness, this true awareness of the spirit realm, how to get there in my mind, and but then hold on to my earthly self, which it's all connected. Okay, I can promise you. So when it comes to generational curses, that are in your family, or either just dealing with people in the world, a lot of you guys are sort of like this black sheep. And the black sheep is basically, I'm going to tell you the truth about being the black sheep. When you are the black sheep, pretty much what ends up happening is that every bad thing is dumped off on you. You are considered to be this entryway, this void, even though they don't really understand it, they don't really understand their own behaviors, and you become the void. And I'm pretty sure that every witch has experienced this. You end up watching this spiritual horde happen, and at the same time you're growing, but you're sort of collecting all of this negativity, and there's always an excuse for it, and it's always, they will find excuses to do that to you. So you find yourself with this sort of like collection of this negativity that you eventually figure out how to dispose of it, how to get rid of it. In the spirit realm, you figure this out, but you've collected this and you've collected this. And when you know how to do it, then that's when you start getting the clarity. That's when you start stepping up. That's when you have survived this spiritual war that you've been in. Okay. Now, when it comes to people and when it comes to their behaviors, it doesn't matter what they make up about you. Even if they're not making up anything about you, the reason why they are raging against you is because they are factually trying to find a place to put that anger, that aggression, that problem, those spirits that they don't really know how to dispose of. Okay. So that's why you end up feeling as though you are sort of like this dumping ground. And this is what spirit wants to stop happening. This is what spirit feels is unfair. It is unjust. They are telling these people over and over again to elevate, to become more aware of what they are doing. And I'm telling you, it has been in their nature to, and a lot of you guys are very lucky because some of them, a lot of people, I know this sounds scary, but a lot of people end up murdered because, confused people are looking for somewhere to put this bad energy there, because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to transmute it, and they've been taught for so long to not know how to really transmute it. So it's an excuse. Oh, well, it's because you're a witch. Oh, well, it's because I don't agree with you. Oh, well, it's because you're a woman. Oh, it's because you're a man. Oh, it's because you're a child. Oh, it's because it's because of slavery. Oh, it's because of I heard something about you. I yeah, I'm confused. And so it's an excuse that they make as they dump this crap on you because they don't want to truly face the music. It's very scary to them. Okay. And you're not a person that's scared because when you reach a certain level in your craft, especially if you've been practicing witchcraft for, I would say you would have to total it up. It does add up to a totality. Even if you got into it 20 years ago or 10 years ago and you got into it for a couple of years, you were still retaining that information and that wisdom, but then you left and came back, and then now, so that's a totality. Okay, so if you've been exploring and learning for at least 5 6 years, you start to learn what's actually happening when it comes to certain realms and doorways and portals. You start to understand this on a deeper level. How does this work as far as when it comes to family members and people that are involved in organized religion? So intuitively that they project, which means that they send their stuff to you. If they have a headache, oh, so and so must have something going on. Or if just any little thing, or if they are afraid of doing something, they have to blame it on you. Okay. When somebody blames anything on you, that means that they are scared, they are afraid. Oh, I can't accomplish this. So I got to find something to put this on. And it's very prevalent in the Black communities. When it's time for them to step up, when it's time for them to elevate, oh, white people did it. It was a white person that did it. Even though slavery has been abolished for hundreds of years, which means at least several generations since then, it's been abolished. They have to find something to blame because they're scared. Okay. So they've been dumping this stuff at you, throwing everything at you, which has got to get thrown back at them because they have to learn the lesson. You cannot because see, here's the whole thing that I've noticed as a spiritualist, as a practitioner. Being that I am intelligent, to get the job done, to better my life, to better protect myself, to protect my children, what I do is I do what I know that I have to do to just get rid of it. Just take all that energy and put it somewhere where I know that it can't come back to me, right? Here's what they will do. This is where you can't get around it. This is where they can't get around it. And they just have to face the truth and learn. They have not learned yet. Once you have extinguished of it, you know how to get rid of it. If you are a spiritualist or a witch at this point and you claim to know how to cleanse anybody or pray for anybody, or do a reversal for anybody. You know that that negative energy that you're reversing or cleansing off of somebody, it has to go somewhere. You should know at this point that when it goes somewhere, it should be in a place, either if it's not supposed to go back to a certain person, which is whoever conjured that energy, then you should know where you can put it. There is a realm that directly connects on this earth. It is the realm of, and I don't want to say apathy, but it's like a black hole. And I believe that it is located near like the North Pole or either the South Pole. It doesn't even matter. If you can find it, you can put that stuff, that negative stuff, that spiritual waste, that stuff that can't be used anymore. You should know that by now. And you should also know how to access this realm and not get lost in it and pull yourself back, your spirit. You should know that. If you don't know it, maybe it's not time. But what ends up happening is once you do that, the people that are still very ignorant to this, are either, well, they're just ignorant. They will find something. They're going and seeking more negativity to send to anybody and everybody. They'll go and find it. So this is the reason why you have to be aware of this, what they will do, and especially when it comes to family. But then there's some people that will somehow connect themselves with you, and they'll say, "Oh, well, you're my family too, and I'm here to pray upon you so I can put this negativity in you or send it to you." Okay? So what they'll do is they'll conjure it, they'll find it, because that's just the mechanics of who they are, and it'll be new energy. It won't be the same energy, because once that bad energy and them bad spirits are lost in space, you can't find them. Okay, unless you go seeking them, they'll find new. They'll do it all over again because it's just the way that they are. They're building it up, they're compiling it, they're compiling it, they're compiling it. This is the person that I send this to, or per sons. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. There's not just one that they send it to. Okay. Next thing you know, bam. That's why you have to figure out, how do you keep them from sending you stuff? You have to have a way to make sure that when they send it, it doesn't take flight, like it literally, like it's going to take a couple of lifetimes for you to send that to me. I'm going to make it freeze in midair. It's going to be frozen right there. So you got to figure that out. But then you also have to figure out, once it does take flight to you, that it doesn't touch you, that it pings right off of you, right? You have to figure that out and connect with it, which can be very difficult for a lot of people. But they're sending it, right? They're sending it. And when you have a conversation with them, when you say, you know that you didn't have to send me that negativity, right? You know that there was a better way of you dealing with that negativity, right? What do they say to you? Oh, I don't believe in that because I believe in Jesus Christ. This is exactly what they do every single time when it comes to what they are doing. That is their excuse. Their excuse is always Jesus. You notice that? Oh, I don't believe in that stuff. I believe in Jesus, because apparently Jesus told them to be very ignorant. Even though it's a lie, I'm not saying Jesus is a lie, but I'm saying that that's not Jesus. Jesus was not ignorant. Jesus Christ understood spirituality. Even though he died this human symbolism of the son did die at a young age before he could actually explore that. Very young. Jesus Christ died very young. Okay. So he didn't really have the time to really explore a lot of that, but he still was who he was. He didn't tell them to be ignorant. So this is something that plagues your families and the people around you. You are literally opening up doorways and you're doing shit that will blow their mind. And they can't understand why, because they're still stuck on jealousy and envy and hatred and competition. They're still stuck on that. For example, if there's a male in your family and they failed financially, they're looking at you like, how in the hell did you manifest all of this money to afford all of these things that you're affording? I have to send my inadequacies to you. So they're stuck on those patriarchal beliefs. They're stuck on the Bible and what the Bible says, which the Bible was not written for women. That was a man's religion, a very primitive man's point of view from thousands of years ago. You're literally opening up portals to other realms while they're stuck back in this primitive state of non understanding of the world. So that's why they're sending all this stuff to you, because they're expecting you to process it. But it's not meant. I mean, can you imagine processing every single thing from every single person because the principal or either the elder of the family doesn't want to understand, is too afraid to understand. So all of this has to get dumped on you while at the same time you're trying to manifest, and then you're also dealing with other people who have that non-understanding. Some of y'all are dealing with several families of people that don't have an understanding, and you get placed at the bottom even though you're doing all the damn work. You should be a trillionaire by now. You done did so much work. Your body and your mind and your spirit has been through so much. And that's why I always tell my clients and my students, heal yourself. Focus on healing. Pull that, because you're going to need it. You're going to need to heal yourself daily because you're being overworked and underpaid. And they'll even tell you, you're worthless. You're not worth this amount when you know that you are. You've been processing this your whole life. You're the sponge. You're the gateway, but they don't even appreciate you. And then some of y'all even get to the point where you don't appreciate yourself. You stop believing in self. You get lost. When you get to the point where you overcome and you feel that, and spirit is going to let you know, yes, you are powerful. Yes, you did it. They're looking at you like, how the hell did they do that? Did she do that? Did he do that? Did they do that? Now they're trying to figure out ways because they're still stuck in their old habits. That's why you feel the way that you feel. Okay? That's why. That's why you're having those experiences. That's why things are up and down. One day this and one day the next day that, because you are connected to these ignorant people by blood, and they've got many excuses. We're seeing this manifest especially if there's like old values in the family, and those values and those traditions have to be broken. Oh, grandpa took care of grandma, and grandma, she cooked and she cleaned, and they were in love, and it was beautiful, it was wonderful, yes it was. But what was spirit doing? What was God doing? They get mad and they question, but God is doing all of it. This God that they think that they know has done it all, has put women at a position, has always put us at a position, because taking care of home is very important for the woman. But now the woman has to take care of home financially. And this is where sometimes you'll get a lot of confused men that will destroy home. They will destroy it because they feel like, oh, I should have done that. But that's not what God said. And God didn't tell you to destroy your own home and your own family because you felt like this gender role existed that had to be that way. Okay. And that was the only way. And so that's why you see the dynamic of men being frustrated when they see a woman taking care of the home, taking care of him, financially. And she never told him, unless a woman is telling you, I don't want you to do anything with your life. I want to be the only one that's the breadwinner. Unless a woman is telling you that, you should be allowed to get your north. Okay. Now, I don't think women should discourage men from finding their north. No. If you find whatever it is that you do, whether or not it's carpentry or, whatever it is that you find to do to, start to contribute your own, or funding yourself, or just, having your own money, you should be allowed to do that as a man. It's not to say that you can't, but many of them get caught up. They get stuck on, I'm the man. I'm supposed to be the one that's doing that. And that's where you have a problem. That's why you hear about men killing women. That's why you hear about that. Those unfortunate stories, because he got wrapped up in his manness, and I'm the man, and I'm supposed to do all that. And even if he refuses or can't at that time, I guess everybody just supposed to starve to death while he figures it out, and that's not the truth. Okay. And you got to understand that this whole gender role thing, this whole the man being the breadwinner of the family, that was a short time in our history. Okay, there used to be a time, and that has gotten lost in history, to where both the man and the woman contributed equally to the household. Okay. And so these are things that they are working against because they're confused. But anyway, let's get back on the subject of the whole generational curse thing. That is literally what is happening. So my suggestion to you guys is that if you're struggling with that whole dysfunctional family dynamic, to where you're the scapegoat, and the scapegoat is literally you are the spiritual sponge for that. You are to absorb and process all of this negativity and this confusion that they are supposed to be processing themselves. And that is where the dysfunction comes in. That's when it's like, hold on, wait a minute, something is not right here. This is not the way this is supposed to be. This wasn't the original design, because if it was the original design, people wouldn't be questioning it. That's why a lot of people are questioning this whole dynamic of Let's find somebody to dump everything on. Okay. And it would be wonderful. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody in the family could just get together and have a meeting and talk about it? But they're not. What they're going to say to each other is Jesus Christ and God and the Bible said that we're not supposed to listen to you mystics. I was doing some research last night, and I've been so busy with client work and getting my because I'm getting my room together and setting up my Boone altar, that I have not really had time to even talk to Lilith about this. But my first thought process, because Lilith was listed amongst the Anunnaki, and her first thing was that what was that either that she is only connected somehow but doesn't agree with what the Anunnaki is doing, or it's just that it's an association. That's just like they associate Lilith with Abrahamic religion. She's directly associated. It doesn't mean that Lilith, I believe that she existed far before Abrahamic religion, which is basically the energy of the divine feminine. She existed far before that, but they want to claim her. So I am gonna, when I get a minute, I'm gonna have this conversation with her. But I feel like she's already given me the understanding of that, to be honest with you. Because Abrahamic religion teaches us that the God of the Bible is the God that created woman and man. Okay. So the one thing, that the one dead giveaway when it comes to why I don't buy that is the second is literally the secondary, the backstage, the downplay of the woman. That is what makes me not convinced of those religions. That's what makes it not real for me. Because I feel like if you tear down and destroy any aspect, if you tear down the woman, you're going to destroy everything. And if you tear down the man, everybody has different views on that. I was looking at something that was saying that, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin birth, and then his grandmother was born of a virgin birth as well. So technically, it's been arguable. It's been a debate on whether or not women even need men to get pregnant, or maybe it was back then, did women actually need a man to get pregnant, and were men simply created out of, they were basically created with this other gene, with different genes that made them a man, that pretty much put all of their stuff on the outside of their bodies or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But so there's a lot of debate on that really we can't even ponder. Like right now what I'm doing is trying to give people a better understanding of how to deal with the dysfunction, the spiritual dysfunction that's happening within these close family relations of these people that are in the habit of, first of all, if you're a witch, you're to blame for everything. If you are a witch, you have been blamed for everything that has ever went wrong in these people's lives. At the time that you were born, they probably was going through something, and they directly related that to your birth date. So they basically cursed the day that you were born, which it had nothing to do with you. It just was the circumstances when you came into this earth. These people think that because they are your family, that they own you and they run you and that they got to do something about you. What they don't realize is that they need to own themselves, run themselves, and do something about themselves. That's where they're always going to lose. It's a losing battle for them. They're going to always lose because they're constantly trying to look to someone else to blame for whatever issue that they have. And as a witch, all of us witches know we have a problem. We're going to handle it. I just had a big problem the other day, handled it. You see what I'm saying? But they don't want to face that. They are so far in denial, purposely disempowering themselves. And the reason why you have so many issues is because you're processing everything. You are processing everything, not just not just from them, but their wives that they married and their kids, and you are to process everything. That's why you feel overburdened spiritually. And then especially when you do jump on the broom, now you are exploring and they think, oh, you're trying to hurt me. If I can't send that energy to you, you're going to hurt me. So you're my adversary because you're just supposed to be my sponge. That's your existence, right? And judging by what you've spoken to with your spirit guides, that no, it's not. And some of y'all are factually in your 30s, 40s, is 50s, and 60s, and you're still dealing with that. And a lot of you guys look significantly younger than what you actually are. And the reason why is because you have been taking your time back from them. Your life has been sort of held up because you're dealing with this. And it makes it very difficult for you to have that fulfillment in life because you're trying to reach that fulfillment, and dealing with that has slowed everything down. And so they've held you up as long as they could. And it's all tied into money. It's all tied into property and land. When they see you on land, when they see you having land, it bothers them because they feel that if they first of all, your existence, and this is something that you have to accept and get past and get out of your feelings about it, is that your existence was that of a living sacrifice that was to be destroyed for their better good. Is God saying that that's the way it's supposed to be? No, God is saying they made it all up and that's not, that's a fantasy. That's a fallacy that they've made up in their mind. No, your existence was merely to be destroyed for their greater good. You had to be destroyed totally, mind, body, and spirit. You had to be, to them. That's their version of reality. But is that the real reality? Is that your reality? I guess if you accept it, and many people have accepted it, and you see it on the news every day, something tragic happened to them and the family get millions of dollars. That ends up destroying them because God said, well, God is calling people. Here's my relationship with God. And I know a lot of y'all think I worship the devil. God is saying, no, that's not the way it was supposed to be. These people need to wake up and discover spirit. This is what's happening globally, nationally, worldwide. This is what the universe is conspiring to do. And it's weird to them. They don't want to see it because if they see it, they can't unsee it. Like as a spiritualist, I see stuff all the time, y'all. Whenever I'm doing work for people, especially when it comes to getting rid of these bad spirits or either bad energies or these phantasms that are being created, right, which is a literal person created out of energy that is meant to do some destruction. It's almost like a robot, but it's not like a flesh and blood person. It's a phantasm. And so for me, here's my relation with it, is that I see it, I get it off of you, I put it somewhere, I'm done, close it up, shut down the portal. I can even destroy spirits. I've had to destroy spirits. Yes, destroy it, get rid of it. Go and have a cup of coffee and watch a movie. See, I'm used to it. But the things that I am used to seeing would blow somebody else's mind. Like, I can't believe that I know this, that I have this knowledge. I've got to sit on this for a while, and I've got to process this because this is crazy. And if you sit and watch the sky for a while, which is why I'm gifting myself a telescope for this Christmas. When you sit and you watch the sky for a minute, you can even see those portals opening and closing. I think that when people realize the truth about the wonders and the mystical world that we live in, I think that it's not about them being crazy, but I think that it's all about how you process it. How are you processing it? For me, the reason why I don't go crazy and start running around the streets and it's just normal for me, is because I've accepted it. I've accepted the world of mysticism that we live in. I've accepted the wonders of the world. And coming to that place of acceptance, it allows me to balance. It allows me to say, you know what, look at all of this. My God, it's so overwhelming that at one point in my life, I could barely look up at the sky because I knew it was there. But on the other hand, I'm under the sun and I'm living life and I'm joyful, I'm jovial, even though there's hard times that I faced. But you know what? I know what it is. And this is life, this is family. And you do have to come to that place. You have to be ready for that, to say, oh my God. So when it comes to like my apprenticeship that I offer to people, it gets deep into that. It really does. It gets very deep into that. And you start becoming open and you start seeing that. It's not that I force you to see it. It's just that you see it. I'm not, I don't, I let you when you're ready. I don't force people when they're not ready. That's just like there's a lot of people in this world that are not ready to actually accept what is. The actual outer limits, you know what I'm saying? That world, what world are we living in? Okay, which a lot of people say, oh, we live in a world where people get killed, and we live in this world where you have no idea what this world, I mean, you have no idea what's going on. We got this full moon coming up. You have no idea what is beyond the moon, what can come, like what's next to it. The portals that can be opened, the wormholes, I mean, it is astounding. And until you're ready to understand that, you're not really going to accept it because you just want life to be normal. You want to look at it and it is normal. For me, it's been normalized. This is why it doesn't freak me out. Your mind is not ready to see that until you're ready. Okay. Um, in fact, there's some people they'll walk outside and the sky will be clear, but some people it'll be cloudy. And they need those clouds because they don't need to see what the hell's going on up there. Because if they see it, it's they're gonna, you know, and photography is very important because when you see these videos out here, a lot of people are like, that's not real. They some of that stuff is real. And the reason why somebody was able to capture it on camera is because they were ready to see it and they showed it to the rest of the world. So photography is very important. That's why sometimes when you take a selfie, it looks very different from versus if somebody takes a picture of you, because that's probably what they are seeing. And my grandfather was a photographer, so um photography and cameras, we're going to start understanding What is really a camera? Is a camera just an inanimate object? A camera that captures a photograph is very powerful because it means something. Nothing on this earth is insignificant. Okay, so um but when it comes to doing spiritual work, when it comes to doing spiritual work and the things that people are able to do, because here's the issue that lies with that, is that people that are still stuck and they can't really figure out their earthly path. Okay, those are the people that will attack you, will try to shut down your money. Those are the people that are super duper focused on you and trying to do harm to you because, because they feel that you are competition with them. So the problem is that many of them already have an understanding as well as access, and they need to be denied access. The spirit is already spoken when it comes to that. If you are a mystic or a spiritualist that is stuck on trying to destroy somebody and destroy their lives, this, spirit sees you as somebody that's going to have a negative butterfly effect on regions of the world or regions or areas of the world, and that's why they'll shut you down. The people that are doing things that are, trying to, digress certain people, such as myself, that help people, and those people are being shut down to the point where they're, if you're doing that and you're not using it responsibly, you're going to be shut down to the capacity to where you're going to be denied access to that, because what you're doing is, that these things exist, how to open up a door to somebody. Like, for example, remember when I told y'all to protect the doors in your house? Protect the doors, the doorways, right? Because if, for example, a lot of y'all, especially y'all in social media, you guys will do selfies in front of a mirror, or either you'll take a picture in front of your closet door. And people that are mystics that understand the significance of a door or a doorway or a mirror, they can have access to you and they can send things to you. If they're doing it frivolously, spirit is looking at them and they know that they're in trouble because they shouldn't have been doing that frivolously. The issue is that when you go to somebody to get spiritual help, they have to understand that, and they have to be on a path to where they actually want to help people. A lot of us that are out here in the open, you are put into two categories. You're either a saint or a sinner, I guess, right? And so basically, a lot of us that are looking forward to All Hallows Eve, I call it Old Hallows Eve, but it's actually All Hallows Eve. That's All Saints Day. So that's why there's people that either fear it or they're embracing it, because the people that fear it, they know they done messed up. If you're able to embrace All Saints Day, you're blessed beyond your understanding, because that means that what God is telling you, or spirit is telling you, is that you've done the right thing. The people that have not done the right thing are scared shitless of October the 31st and November the 1st. They are scared shitless of it. because they feel that they're going to have some kind of punishment by God. So that's why they can't embrace it. And that's why they don't even want to talk about it. Oh, it's evil. It's this, it's that. Yeah, it's evil because you've been hateful, and you know that that's judgment day. That's why in the tarot the judgment card is related to either it's the judgment card is Scorpio, which is will be in Scorpio season, or Cancer. Okay, it has nothing to do with Pisces. It's either Scorpio or the Cancer astrological sign. That judgment day bothers them because they know that they have done wrong. And then, especially if it's somebody, see, and this is how it relates to, if you notice, a lot of people in social media, in particular in social media, your placement in social media is so important because people are watching you and you are influencing certain areas of the world. So if your family is in the background manipulating your social media, they have to deal with that judgment too. People in social media that are manipulating the energies around you, they have to face that judgment too. And they are afraid of it. They're calling in protection. It's nothing that their protection is going to do for them. They're going to be miserable on that day. They're going to be miserable in the days leading up to it. When this shift happens, they're going to be totally miserable, and they've got to find that understanding. People that, and so some people are carrying the burden of their parents that is creating the misery, but they have to find out within themselves. Okay, because it's not to say that some of them can't be saved, because what I'm going to be doing on that day and the days leading up to it is I'm going to be pulling people into that salvation. Trust me, when I'm carving them pumpkins and when I'm on here, and the people that are going to be accepting of the healing, the people that are going to be accepting of the acceptance, they are going to be fine. The people that that know who I am, and the people that follow me and watch me, that are hateful and hate me, and just, they rather destroy me, and they're just ignorant. Those people are going to feel some type of way, but the people that are, more so, that I guess you could say that they are either deserving, they're going to be perfectly fine. It's not going to be the same cycle, that a lot of people have been in for even 10 years. You're going to break that cycle because there's some of you guys, one of the reasons why you have been caught up in this cycle of torment around this time of the year is because nobody ever broke that chain, and you're going to be breaking that chain. You're going to be breaking those cycles, and you're going to find this place of magic that is going to totally heal you, and you're going to just feel good inside of your heart. Okay, so embrace that. We're going to be doing the, what is it, 31 days of Halloween, the countdown. And I'm going to make sure that I make it special. That way people can discover where that place of healing is, no matter who it is. But I think some people, they just, especially the people that watch me and hate me, sadly, if they don't accept the truth, and it ain't just my truth, there's no such thing as that, it's just the truth. If they're watching me and they hating on me and they sitting up there, I'm gonna curse her. Oh, I gotta pull in some spirits. Well, every spirit that you conjure is gonna automatically be banished, auto banished. We on autopilot at this point because we had to do it. It's an autopilot. Okay. And many people that are in my Sam Hain circle are going to understand that we are in autopilot at this point. And nobody can destroy you. You destroying yourself. So that's what we're focused on. But as far as like with that, there are solutions that I'm offering to people as far as like when you're dealing with family members that are kind of stuck, and they are in the habit. If they pay attention, and even when you point it out to them, you'll say, well, you just did it. You just tried to dump your crap onto me, and I didn't have anything to do with that. And they'll say, no, I didn't. And you're like, but you just did it. So even if you record it and you play it back with a damn tape recorder, they still won't accept it. Like, this is what you literally just did. If you have a conversation with them, or if you get a glimpse of what they are doing, this is the reason why you become table talk. They're talking about you. They're talking about you in the most hateful way because they are in a hateful place. They are in a place of confusion. And instead of them talking about how, well, it's not a confessional, it's more so of oh, how can I describe it? A lynching of you, to where the conversation is all about you. But really the negativity is coming from their own iniquities that they need to pay attention to, but they won't do it. So and you do have to protect yourself. It's not necessarily your fault, or it's time for people to stop trying to find blame in the ancestors. It's all about this generation. Your grandmother couldn't do it, your great grandmother couldn't do it, and it's because it wasn't really up for her to do it by herself. Everybody had to take their own responsibility. And then of course they always have to have someone to blame. Well, stop conjuring negative energy against your family members. Stop doing it then. They can't do it because they're not in control of themselves. It's like they have to do it. And they will send it to your kids, they'll send it to your man, they'll send it to your husband, because they're talking about him or her, your wife. And it's just a constant cycle, and you have to put yourself in that bubble to where whatever they send ping pongs, it's got to be like a ping, like ping, not today. So what they're going to find out, because the autopilot has already began, they've avoided the truth for so long. And they don't have to have candles lit necessarily, even though candles help you focus on your intent. They've been doing these things through meditation, and their meditations are going to be useless because it's time for them to face their own music. Instead of finding somebody, whether or not it's your baby, it'd be a brand new baby, and they'll say something stupid like, oh, that baby is too cute, that baby is the antichrist, oh, that baby is this is the kind of sickness. That's why you see them attacking babies. That's why you hear about in the news crazy people that will literally murder children and say, oh, that baby was the antichrist, it had a demon in them, when they were the ones that had the demon in them. And you're seeing this manifest throughout that's the and they don't know anything else except for that ignorance suffer the little children. When somebody says no, don't suffer the little children, they have a problem with that person. And we've actually gotten so advanced. And like I said, when I have the time to sit down and actually divinate this, we're even going to find out if animal sacrifices are going to continue to work. Because trust me, they've done the sacrificing of the chickens and they looking back, they said, well, hell, I sacrificed about 5 chickens and it still didn't work. My ignorance of what I was trying to do, because what they were trying to do was murder you. And so you were the chicken and they slit its throat and they wondering why you still alive and why you still manifesting. So they said, well, I had a chicken or a hen and I sacrificed it. And I don't understand why I sacrificed the chicken. I drank its blood and I'm still stuck because now animals are being protected. Did y'all notice that? It was like an energy shift. And that's why you see people embracing animals more than they embrace human beings, because human beings are looked at as a problem because they refuse to elevate, they refuse to evolve. Because the universe is creating all of it. Now, I'm not saying that, because for me, what I found, because I do have like a cow skull or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I do use that cow skull during my rituals. Yes. And in fact, I got to find a home for it because, the cow is very sacred. It's a symbolism of the mother. It's symbolism and it's the energy of nurturing. And I didn't necessarily personally sacrifice the cow. And does that mean that you have to become vegan? Or that's something that's still up in the air essentially. But for me, the universe understands that many of you guys have been malnourished so much that you need the nourishment of those animals. So that's why animal sacrifice is going to have to go on for a long time on this planet. And that's not going to happen. What vegans want is not going to happen for probably at least another century, because everybody is so malnourished. Here's the reason why malnourishment is happening. It is because for a very, very long time, and it may even be longer than a century, it may be lifetimes before we're able to see a world where animals are not sacrificed for food. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Don't kill the messenger, okay? Please don't. I'm going to tell you why humans are so sick and why we're sickly. So you conjure a spirit or a certain entity, and this has nothing to do with Lilith or anything like that, because she is in control of all of that. Okay. But you have a certain entity that comes from another realm that feeds off of human beings, right? That will drain all of their nutrients and their nurture and the source of their body that holds all of the because the scientists have broken it down to B vitamins and iron, which is why there's so many sickly people, because they're vitamin deficient. How did they become vitamin deficient? It is because of a spiritual battle that has been going on for so long, and all of these negative entities that are eating at people. So that's why through the generations, people have gotten sicker and sicker, and the lifespan has gotten shorter and shorter. So that's why for a long time, people are still going to have to feed off of animals, in particular cows and chickens and deer and goats. Okay. So I know that the vegans, they want a world where they can reduce it, but they can't necessarily stop it, because without that, many people would be dead, and God does not need those people to be dead on the earth. He needs those people, or she needs those people physically walking around this earth so that they can be seen. Okay. And that's just the reality of it. So, you know, many of you guys that are, they are abusing you. They've been abusing you. It's been constant spiritual abuse, which spiritual abuse to me denotes as emotional abuse, because whatever comes in through spirit, you're going to feel it emotionally. And the reason why you've been emotionally abused so much is because they are stuck on their agenda to sacrifice you for you to be the sacrificial lamb. So that's why the moment that you jumped on your broomstick, they've been every single day, their thoughts, their words, their actions, they are abusers. Okay. And they've been doing it every single day, every day. They don't want to face, because if they were to actually look in that mirror, oh my God, they would realize how horrible they were, how awful they treated you. Just hate for no reason. You didn't do anything to them. You were on your path. This is where your spirit guides and your gods and your entities, and you were helping people. Some of y'all were helping people. Some of y'all were doing things that, that the world needed, and they were just abusing you, abusing you, abusing you, just beating you up from the inside out, which is worse than any other kind of abuse. So those people are going to have their reckoning. They have, their, I mean, I'm talking about, they're not going to be celebrating. They're going to be suffering. I'm talking about in bed, and if you are somebody that didn't do that, you may end up being the puppet for them, for the people that did wrong. They did wrong because they didn't have to do it. Their survival was not depending on it. Them abusing you and them thinking that their survival depending on you being abused and harmed was a total deception. And they're going to find out that they've been deceived this entire time. They could have been happy. You could have been friends. Or maybe if they didn't like you in general, you could have just been at peace. They could have been at peace, but they just kept it up and kept it up and kept it going and kept it going. All that misery for years. Okay. So, and they need to apologize, is what they need to do, even if they don't, they don't have to do it publicly. Just at least admit it. And they're stubborn as a bull. They are, oh God. They've been doing stuff to you that's been essentially hurting them. God already told you, your gods have already told you, you are gonna overcome this. They have been hurting themselves for years, and they still don't want to admit to something that has been hurting themselves. Because what you've been doing is everything they send to you, they send it back to you. You send it back to them. You doing your reversals, you doing your warding, you doing your banishings, you doing all of that. And they trying to bind you. They want to bind you up to make it impossible for you to send it back to them, but they can't even do that. And that's why I said that, people that are doing stuff like that, they have spiritual rabies. If it's something that doesn't belong to you, you have to send it back. And well, we gonna bind that person to where they can't do magic. And Spirit was looking at them like, what in the world? Then they tried to destroy Hecate. They were trying to destroy gods, which was funny. That was very funny when they did that. That's how the lengths that they will go to. And I'm talking about they were trying to destroy these spirits, period. Just, it wasn't like, for example, if there's a spirit that I don't want near me, I can banish it. If it's something that I feel is not serving me, I can banish it. Can I destroy a deity? No, they got in their mind that they was going to destroy a deity. Now, that's when somebody, like they need to and it drove them crazy. For example, they were trying to destroy, I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. Lucifer, they were trying to destroy Lucifer. This is very funny. But they didn't set an intent to just say, Lucifer, get away from me. No, they were trying to destroy Lucifer, the light bearer. It was the most it's been utterly ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. And Lucifer showed them, well, listen, I'm more important than you. You're just a pebble on a mountain. They tried to destroy Satan. But how you gonna destroy Satan? Satan is doing his job. Oh, we're gonna come together now. Now I will tell you that that's where the church kind of messed up. That I said that, and people was like, "Ooh, let me leave this because y'all trying to destroy Satan himself and praying to God to absolutely destroy Satan." And then that's when people rose up and said, is there a God that's supposed to come back and get you? Because if that God is, we gonna go get him and have him come get you. you know, I'm just telling the truth, man. They don't like to hear the truth. Well, I want Satan to be destroyed because my Bible told me that Satan was the reason for all my issues. Satan exists in another realm that you keep calling to him, he gonna show up. They the one kept calling to Satan. That's why I quit going to church. Every time you go to church, they in there, oh, and Satan, and be gone, Satan, and you the adversary, and you a son of a bitch, and I'm, oh, let me get out of here. It was all blasphemy from the beginning. That's why I don't go to church. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. When you think about it, hey, listen, you got to think long and hard, man, for real. Like, really? Like, Satan was minding his own business, and you keep calling out his name and telling him that you want to destroy him, and he ain't really bothering you. How is Satan bothering you? Goodness gracious, it was ignorance at its finest. Child, you need, where's your, let me get you some selling. Let me give her treatment real quick. So y'all, I gotta go because I gotta finish my whole thing here. Here, baby. Here, take your selenite. Here you go. Oh, mama been too busy to give you your selenite treatment. Okay, it's okay. There you go, baby. Here, I'll put it on your back. That way it'll just sit there. Sit with that. Sit with that. Mm-hmm. And you sitting near my cauldron, so that's probably messing with your allergies because there's herbs in it and stuff. Here. She's such a good kitty and very loyal. She just comes by me, and if she feels that anything is attacking me, she'll just come and absorb it. She does. That's what our familiars do. They protect us. Hold on a minute. Yeah, if you'll stop, yeah, you got a fur ball coming up. You need to quit licking yourself all the time. I'm gonna give her a bath. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So yeah, my kitty is so loyal. Whenever she feels anything is attacking me, she'll come right in my face. But she got she be having a fur ball that be trying to come up. That cat is very floofy. I need to give her a bath and stuff and brush her, because she be getting all that extra hair caught up in her throat and stuff too. So, anyway, y'all, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. I don't went all off into oblivion with this conversation. So this fall I'm going to be focusing on the apprentices and then whatever client cases that I have going on. And like this is one of the reasons why you felt as though, hey John Lane, this is one of the reasons why when you began to practice your craft, and especially those of you that connected with nature, and you wasn't really trying to do all that baneful stuff. Sometimes baneful stuff is necessary, like when you have to vampirize your energy, and sometimes you have to do that because people will steal your energy. It's okay. So and and I think that what y'all are dealing with is the world, people in the world literally feeding off of you, sucking you dry, like you a damn like leeches. But then when it comes to your family, what they're doing is they're doing the dumping and the projecting mainly. But then when you go out in the world, your energy is being pulled from you, and sometimes it's being pulled at a very rapid rate. And so that creates disaster in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit. So on one end, you're getting all this negativity, all that negativity is blocking you up. You're getting all that stuff, and it's congesting you. And then anything that's supposed to help you, anything that's supposed to sustain you, is being pulled from you. And families don't have to function that way. I mean, honestly, I've seen guided meditations on YouTube that are very useful in purging themselves of negativity, and they don't want to do that because they say, oh, that's that new age stuff and that's the devil. So instead, all of their negativity, they see you as the, no, I got to put my negativity into this person, instead of them either banishing the negativity or either meditating to transmute the negativity. They are in the habit of sending that negativity to you, and that just ain't right. They got to learn the ways, otherwise a lot of the witches are just going to continuously send that crap back to them. Nope, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. Okay. And so that's why a lot of the baby boomers are at odds with Generation Z and Generation X and the millennials. The baby boomers and the generation before that. No, actually it's that baby boomer era. A lot of the baby boomers that are like in their 50s or and 60s, they've been doing that a lot, if you notice, and it's usually somebody that's older, and you like, some of Generation X is ignorant to it. um Generation Z, their spirits is automatically kicking ass. Generation X, they have to work at it. So a lot of the Generation Xers are like, what in the world? They see how the elders, and then the elders will train some of the younger people and have them under their wing doing this stupid stuff. And it's all stupid. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like I said, John, you missed the discussion about when I was talking about how I banish bad spirits. I can open up a portal right now. If it's a bad spirit, just get rid of it. They don't want to do that. They want to say, "Oh, it's Jesus is supposed to come in here," and then they'll say that they're in Christ consciousness. Well, if you were truly in Christ consciousness, wouldn't you know how to get rid of that bad spirit and try to, instead of sending it to somebody else? And they will send it to men, women. It'd be a woman with a newborn baby just getting out the damn hospital. Next thing you know, she got postpartum depression, and her whole world is upside down. And spirit sees them as very ruthless. That's just like if you have a baby, I don't care how old you are, and somebody, you pregnant, you just had your baby, and somebody bitter is speaking bad about you, or oh, she gonna have a hard time with that baby. Oh God, a baby. Oh God, oh, that baby gonna have this, that baby gonna have that baby gonna have that, and that baby gonna have that. And then they just blah 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 blah. They are sending things to you. That's what they're doing at that moment. Is it being filtered? For some of y'all, it's being totally filtered, but for a lot of y'all, it's not being filtered at all. So it's just bam. That negative energy. That's why when I gave birth to Jacob, it was a lot. I was like, God dang. And so my spirits was automatically filtering that stuff. They were, but then after a while, when I went on my path, they said, okay, now you need to learn how this actually gets filtered. That way you can be self-sufficient. That way you can understand. Because a lot of people will say, well, salt will protect you. But how does salt protect you? How? How is it actually protecting you? And why? What's the spiritual mechanics of it, especially when it comes to sea salt? Okay. And then other things that you need to utilize, like camphor, and then even cinnamon will protect you. Cinnamon has a lot of great protective properties, and cinnamon is a lot more. It's a lot more to cinnamon than flavoring your French toast, I can tell you that. So when y'all come to a spiritualist, if your spiritualist or your witch doesn't really understand that, and let's face it, I've seen some of the workings of these spiritualists, and a lot of the times they working completely against what spirit is even allowing, and they're confused. They're saying, well, shit, what I did 10 years ago ain't working, or what I did 20 years ago ain't working. I don't understand why I can't just take an animal and put a spirit in it and kill the animal, and that gets rid of the spirit. And it's because it's just not working that way. It's not, you know what I'm saying? And it is, I feel that even though we still have a lot of the old ways, that sometimes like the old ways need to be done. But I feel, especially when I look at people like Father Odin, when you see some of the depictions of him, I feel that this is very old knowledge that I'm speaking of, as far as when it comes along the lines of shamanism and what they were actually doing, and what is the meaning of it all, so we are going back to the old, but like some of the stuff in between that kind of was a temporary type of thing, or it may work sometimes, ain't going to work every single time, because a lot of things on this planet get sacrificed. Cheap trees get sacrificed. Herbs at some point they were alive, so there's life in everything, even in vegetables and fruits, and nuts and seeds and stuff. No, they not, and some of them is doing things that are completely and totally gonna get them flambéed and flopped over to the side, like a belly flop. You know what I'm saying? Because they doing too much, and they want to be God. They want to run everybody, but in reality, it wasn't. Like, are you kidding me? Like, do y'all actually think that there is one person that's running all the witches on YouTube? If you believe that, you are just as delusional as they are. Oh, I run that. I'm the head honcho. Okay, sure you are. Sure you are. You get one of them witches that knows some stuff. They'll drag you out to the big blue sea. It will drag you, because the sea, the ocean, once you get deeper into deeper levels of the ocean, the ocean is another realm. And people will say, well, I don't believe in other realms. If you look at the damn map of the earth, you can't see the damn mysticism of, like, even when I look at other planets, you can even see it. But maybe it's just because I have an eye for that stuff. But especially planet earth is obvious. You see how you got land and then you got water, and you can't see all of that. You can't see this, and then especially when we have knowledge and then evidence of the Bermuda Triangle, which people, they fly over the Bermuda Triangle and they get lost, they never found again. You didn't realize that the ocean itself, the entire ocean, was a portal. that is like, honestly, and this sounds overwhelming and scary, but really I mean, it's wow. Like, if you like, oh my God, and if you were to travel deep, 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 deep down in the ocean, there's portals to other worlds down there. And they've been digging in the earth trying to figure out what's in the middle of the earth. It's a portal in the core of the earth. So it ain't just what's on the outside and outer earth, but it's about inner earth too. And it's they don't have an understanding of that. So that's why they do things like what they do, which is totally freaking unnecessary. Like, it's like, well, why are you doing it? Like, I've sensed people throwing stuff at me, and I'll be like, why? What the hell? Because they're ignorant. And then they don't want to accept the information, and then they want instant gratification as well. At the same time, they want it to be instant gratification when they don't realize that, sometimes you gonna have to wait, like, sometimes 3 days, 7 days, 14 days. Sometimes it depends on the situation. Some things that need to happen very quickly are going to happen overnight, but then some things, it's like you got to take the time to actually sit back and vibe in it and understand what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But the moment that they have a problem, the moment they have a challenge, they don't really know how to look at self. Even if they said, well, this is coming from self, they still got to have somebody external to self. And then what happens quite often is that when you are journeying inside of self, and you're doing that soul searching, and your soul is wandering and searching, you are in that bubble. You're not bothering anybody else, and some of us have children, so we got our kids covered, and we're journeying within ourselves, and then the next thing you know, something trying to damn interrupt it or intercept it, and you like, you again, what the like, hey, you ain't figured this shit out yet, like, what the hell? It be something knocking. Can I have some privacy while I go on my journey within myself? And you may be doing some stuff of cleaning up or setting up your altars, and you're managing your time, and then here they come. Like, what the hell are you doing? Well, John, that's because the ocean is very dangerous. Them sharks down there, they better leave them sharks alone too. Them sharks are protected. They just don't know. They just don't know, man. They them sharks, they not messing with them. They were exploring the ocean. They can't get past all them damn sharks. And the sharks have more rights than they do because they're an endangered species. So that's why, and them megalodon sharks and stuff, they don't really come to the surface of the ocean except for every once in a while. So that's one of the reasons why, because the ocean is crawling with them. And then when it comes to alligators as well, I pretty much, for the most part, I honestly have never been physically to an ocean. And it's not something that I necessarily have to, because I know what's in it. Like, you're not gonna catch me surfing and all that stuff. Like, I just oh God. Especially over there in Florida, where all those rivers and stuff is, and them damn alligators and shit. It's like, I'll look at it from a distance, like, yeah, that's so pretty. Uh-huh. Yeah, let me back up away from that. So it's not something that, because I know what's in it. Now that's not to say that I'll never travel by boat, but I would, let's just say this. If I traveled anywhere by boat, I'm going to have every protective item with me to make sure that that boat reaches its destination. But because I know what's in that ocean, man, and I know what's deep down in that ocean. And if my spirits tell me don't travel during that time, because them portals be opening up and stuff. And right here by the full moon, they're saying something about a government shutdown, which means that travel may be delayed. And so people will be like, ah, shit, I'm inconvenienced by this travel being delayed. But you know what? It's all for a purpose, because I'm telling y'all, when them portals get to opening up, people got to be careful. It's for your protection. So they was talking about a government shutdown, and why that happens. Well, the government, they got to do what they told. Yep. Yeah, them alligators be hungry. They be hungry, you know. I hear about stuff all the time, John, that happens over in Florida. And people, the whole family was devastated. This lady, she literally, like, oh my God, poor lady. She literally got devoured by an alligator. And, now she didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Her family was saying she didn't deserve this. And I agree. Probably was an amazing lady. It just is one of them acts of nature. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how some people think when a Caucasian lady gets eaten by alligators, like, I don't think of it like that. Like, I'm sorry, I think in the now, like, you got what you deserve, because your people was feeding my people to alligator. Like, I don't think like that, like, honestly. Like, but some people are like, oh, how the tables have turned. And I think that that's a part of that evil ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, now that, like don't say things like that, because that lady, she probably was I know she was an amazing person. You know what I'm saying? And so that just is kind of like, yeah, Florida is weird. I'm tell you something. Will I ever visit Florida? Maybe. But like I said, man, like, it's a man, them spirits be coming off of that ocean in Florida. Them water spirits and stuff. So you gotta you gotta have some protection when you go to them oceans and stuff. And then Florida, it was a story. I was looking at a video about a lady. This lady encouraged her son to kill his baby mama. This man literally, they had the whole conversation. They just put him and his mama in prison for the rest of their lives. Thank the goddess. But this woman literally, like, the lady didn't realize this lady was literally encouraging her son to murder her. Took her to work that morning and everything, and was on the phone with her son saying, well, if you don't kill her, then you a punk ass bitch. And he literally walked up in Home Depot and shot her down, and a couple of other of her co-workers they got grazed with bullets and stuff. They got injured, but he went and killed that lady. And that happened over in Florida, over in, I think it was Orlando. So it's filled with spirit. And so when you mix ignorance, spiritual ignorance with, ignorant people don't need to live near the water. When they ignorant like that. Oh my God. That's why I'm careful about, people be conjuring spirits and stuff out of the ocean. Like, just be careful with them. You can tell when they come from the water and stuff, and oh man, because some of the worst spirits are buried deep down in that ocean, and they not gonna let them sharks down there are not gonna let them do it. Sharks are very important, not just for the ecosystem, but sharks are very important spiritually. So it would be complete madness. It would be more madness and mayhem if it wasn't for those sharks. It's not like I'm gonna go and swim in the ocean and go, "Hey shark, I'm your friend, I love you," and they wouldn't eat me, because the shark would eat me. But I know how important they are spiritually, and how sharks actually protect us. They're very important, and they be out there doing their excursions in the ocean, and killing them sharks. In fact, you never know. They don't have no video footage of that the Titan. It might have been a shark that ate that Titan. I never thought about that until now. The Titan that went down there, it may have been a shark or a megalodon way down there in the depths of that ocean that said, "Oh, let me eat that." The whole thing, just all of the materials was biodegradable. You never know, because they don't know what happened. They were so deep down in there that they don't know what happened to the Titan. It may have been that. Okay. And they're claiming that a iceberg hit that the Titanic hit an iceberg. Hell, it could have been one of them sharks that took a chunk off of that Titanic. I don't know. So I don't be messing with the big blue sea. I don't be. If I had to travel by boat, like I said, the man, there's some treacherous waters out there. It's amazing. Helicopters and planes and stuff and them drones and stuff that can get, footage of the ocean is enough for me. Like, and I just be like, "Oh, that's so amazing, the ocean." But am I gonna go and have an excursion and be like, "I'm at the ocean and I'm in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean"? Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, not me. Mm-mm. I already know what it is. You just never know who's nearby. Now I can live near a lake. I can't I can That's why I want lakefront property, because I can control a lake, but that ocean, that like God, that's big. That's a huge area of space. Oh my goodness. Uh-huh. It's a lot going on out there, good and bad. So, and I've been, when people travel to the ocean, I'll be thinking, bring me some of that ocean water back. Mm-mm. I don't want nobody. If I go, I'm gonna collect that ocean water myself. You can get sand, and sand has the energy of the ocean in it, energetically. Sea salt has the energy of the ocean. So, as a witch, I know that I can go and buy some sea salt and I'm good. Like, thank you. This is the ocean. Thank you. I got it right here. Because boy, you be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Here come the Loch Ness monster or some shit come up out of there. There's a lot of monsters in that ocean. Shit, Ursula's in that ocean. No joking. That's a joke, y'all. But yeah, man. And when you look at, like, I got a globe actually sitting right in front of me. And when you look at how much of the earth is covered in water, Wow. That's a lot going on, you know? So, you know, now that's not to say eventually, y'all, I am gonna take a trip to the ocean. It's gonna be wonderful. I'm be like, oh my God. It's gonna be overwhelming. I'm just gonna be sitting there. Somebody gonna take some video footage of me, and I'm just gonna be sitting there like, this is amazing. But I'm gonna be grounded because it'll be overwhelming for me, just because of my energy or whatever, and just what I am or who I am. I'll just be like, wow. And it's an experience that really I only have to have one or two times, in my life. I don't need to, it just, maybe eventually one day I'll take regular trips, but it's something that it's a lot. It's a lot. People don't realize how much I deal with. People just do not realize it, you know? So, okay, y'all, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to get this Boone altar set up. So I'm gonna go. So the whole thing with your family, it's tedious, it costs money, it takes time sometimes, but it's really child's play. Honestly, it is, because listen, while I'm talking about the ocean, people just don't realize how much power is in it, and they talk about it, but they don't actually be about it. And they come to social media and they talk about it, but then they do very insignificant things. Like, for example, I made some money salt out of sea salt, cinnamon, and with some cinnamon and stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? But you got people out there still trying to steal from other people. Oh, I see you over there drawing this amount. I want what you got. But yet the depths of the ocean. If you truly knew the depths of the ocean and were connected with it, why you got to try to steal from me? Why are you literally trying to take out of my mouth? That don't even make no sense. And so that's why I just kind of but the problem is that they can be very convincing and influential over other people. That's the issue. If you only knew, you could go get some ocean water, or either some sea water, sea moss. We all should have that. I know I got a whole bag of moss, and you can manifest with that. Everybody can manifest. Literally, literally money be raining down out the sky, falling off of trees, and you got people out there trying to fight over a piece of moldy cheese. It makes no sense. Whether or not it's a large corporation or a small corporation, if it's a mega giant company, corporation, or if it's an LLC. So you got to, the depths of the ocean, but yet you got to come to me and talk about my ass. That shit don't, y'all. I don't even. That's why I said I'm done. I'm fucking done, man. I stand alone, and I have my people with me that know what the hell I'm talking about. And like it's kind of like, but do like, okay, you're supposed to understand the depths of this shit, but yet you still doing insignificant crap like that. You should be selling. Why you want to try to take away from me? I know a lot of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what the hell? And have you all thrown off? Makes utterly no sense. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Y'all have a good one. Once I get everything set up, I may show y'all my Boone altar. I think I am. I got like a couple hours, so it probably won't be until like tomorrow afternoon or something, but I got work to do. So I'm gonna sit and listen to Jasmine Ambrosia. I'm gonna sit and listen to her live that she did a really good live for like an hour and a half while I get this work done. Because I like to, man, y'all seen her in my chat room. She has some very good quality witchy content. That's the kind of stuff I like. I can listen to it as background. I can't listen to no lower vibrational, low, woe is me, lowly, low. I can't listen to that, man. I can't hear you. I can't vibe with you when you still crying about 40 acres and a fucking mule. I can't listen to you. Because if you ain't figured out how to get 40 acres and a mule yet, I can't learn nothing from you. I can't. So I don't listen to that kind of crap. To sit and listen to it for an hour or 2 hours, man, you got me messed up. I can sit and listen to witches that have quality content. It's not about race. It's about the quality. Why am I sitting here listening to somebody that is telling me that even though I have the knowledge of the seven seas and the universe, but I'm gonna say that somebody I can't. And then when it comes to black people on this website, they will listen to that crud. They will listen to it and then look at me like, well, Jamila, you kind of like and I'm like, well, and see, that's why I don't limit my company to just one race. Every race is welcome to come to my company to get work done, including black people, especially biracial people, because biracial people are really, really, really catching the brunt of this stupid spiritual race war. It pisses me off. It, like, I swear, and I can't get too angry about it because anger ain't gonna do no good. But it really irritates me the way a lot of black people are stuck. And then the next thing you know, we gotta be stuck. But see, I wasn't stuck, and they said, "Oh, okay, well, let me flag your channel so that I can oppress you." So right now, there's no white people oppressing me, and all of my black people ain't oppressing me either. So don't take this wrong, because I got a lot of black clients, but but there's no white people currently trying to oppress me. It's my own people trying to oppress me, trying to suppress me, trying to control me, throwing stuff at me, lying on me. It's y'all doing it, not them. Oh, well, it was a white person that told me to do it. So you do everything that somebody tell you to do? So they don't stand on nothing. And then they'll try to look at me like all they did was flag the hell out of my channel. Oh, that's power. It took you 7 years to flag my channel to the point where it got blacklisted. And you got some kind of power over me by flagging a channel. Sure, sure you do. So when I see real magic and not just some celebrity like the celebrities, they already got it figured out, even though some of them are messed up, some of them are puppets, but a lot of the big celebrities, they already got all this stuff figured out. I deal with everyday people on this earth. Everyday people. They're the ones that need the help and the knowledge of the help and the knowledge that helps them. They are the ones that need that. So that's why you don't see me on here. Oh, I'm gonna do. So I thought about doing death and murder investigations. I think I may start back up doing that. But as far as like celebrity, I'll give that. Yeah, you had that. They want to be. I ain't trying to be no. Honestly, I'm not trying to be no psychic for the stars or the celebrities. I'm not trying to be a celebrity witch or a celebrity psychic. If it happens, if I just so happen to do work for a celebrity, that's another thing. But that it's not my main goal. I see everyday people for the people. Okay, so and I guess that makes me look smaller than what I actually am. Just because there's people out here, they have families, they have babies, they need spiritual help, they need quality spiritual help, somebody that knows what the hell they're doing and why they're doing it. Okay, I did a reversal for you of a curse. How did that reversal happen? And that's why I said in the past couple of years my spirits have been breaking it down for me totally. It's not just about lighting a candle. And how does this reversal happen? I had to actually learn the biomechanics, the spiritual mechanics, the alchemy of how it's being done. And then you got people saying that I ain't nothing because I like to have sex, which sex is very healing for the soul. Like, if what am I, a whore? Okay, I'm a and I'm not a whore at all, because I just, but it's just that it just, I'm sick of the ignorance on YouTube. And it seemed like they continuously, and what they do is they put a op, they'll put a op and have a op make a goddamn video about me, and then that means that they right when they actually wrong as hell. They need to actually learn what they need to learn and evolve and leave Jamila the hell alone. Because they've been and walked out their front door and a damn shark be at their front door. Because I'm tired of it. I've gotten quite tired. And then a lot of them are Christian based, which I don't understand it. What doesn't make any sense to me, I understand when they talk about the 144,000 and their consensus on it. Well, that just means that it may have multiplied, the number may have multiplied, but that's not what it says. Does it say that? So that's why when they're just doing prayer to Jesus, a lot of times, is it working? Is it actually Jesus that's there? Because I thought Jesus was of a kind and loving perspective. There's nothing kind and loving about these people. I'm not sensing Jesus at all. In fact, Jesus done left the building and ain't came back. And probably came back and said, oh, hell no. And then trying to make it seem like it's something wrong with being a pagan witch or working with pagan gods. And I can't stand the ignorance no more. I done got tired of it. And then especially when it comes to black people, you know, they can cause destruction, but can they build? I don't want to follow nobody that this their main claim to fame is, oh, I can destroy something, but in reality they can't destroy nothing, because if somebody tries to destroy anything that I build, I'm not going to let them. No matter what I got to do, I'm going to make sure that you're not going to get what you want. Oh, look at this. I did some lower vibrational bullshit to somebody. People will just follow, and especially African American people of color need to quit doing that. I can sit up here and cause destruction to people. I did it, but it ain't a destruction that I made up on my own. It was the destruction that they created. I'm gonna send that crap back to you though. But that's not. But can you build though? That's what I want to know. Can you build? Can you make something grow? Can you bring something back to life? Oh, I can kill something, but can you bring it back to life? No, they can't. They can destroy something, but they can't do the other. So I don't even want to hear it. You ain't got no power, not really. You can kill something that you can't bring back to life. You ain't nothing. So whatever, and I'm telling you, boy, it's the ignorance is thick. But I said to myself the other day, I said, I'm not gonna let any ignorant person make me regret being born a colored person. Not gonna do it. But it is embarrassing when you see people doing low vibrational stuff and they always talking about you. Don't put my name on that. I don't want my name nowhere near that. Get my name off of that. Take my name off of I don't want nothing to do. I don't want no connection with your ignorant self. Because then people get to thinking that you like them or you think like them, and I don't. I don't think like them, and I don't really think about them. I'm not limited like that. They're very limited. Okay, y'all, I gotta go because today's Thursday and the group is getting a money ritual today. Okay. And don't worry, ain't nobody in the group gonna fall off a building and get $1 million lawsuit, because we already got that covered. It's protected. Okay. Because I'll be having all bases covered. So today's Thursday, right? So we're doing money manifestation for the Sam Hain group today, for the full moon. Okay, so if you haven't gotten in my Sam Hain group, make sure that you do it so that we can manifest protection, prosperity, and what was the other three? Is the three P's. PPP. Protection, prosperity, power. We'll just say power. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Okay. Blessings. Bye.